Okay, so we'll see another program here. PHP script to create a table. Okay, so now in order to create a table in an existing database, you need to give the value here. One existing database name. Okay, so remaining are same thing. You have to declare the server name, username, and password variables here along with the DB name variable here. Okay, and then once you have been done that, also mentioning the uh, existing database name here, you have to we have to create an connection here. Okay, we have to establish the connection to the MySQL database here. Okay, for that you have to pass on all these variables as a parameter here. That is dollar server name, dollar username, dollar password, and dollar DB name here. So here we'll be giving. So since uh, we have to create a table in a database in an existing database. Okay, and these are references. Okay, so please avoid typing the references while you're typing the program. So you only have to, in this function, you only have to pass on these variables which you have declared previously. Okay, that is in the above, which you have seen. And then check the connection. If there is any connection problem, then with the help of this die function here, die function is used in PHP for error handling. Okay, that is an error handling concept we use. So, uh, so what we use here is to print a message, an error message here. Okay, connection failed along with some whatever error has been is there in the script. Okay, that it will show there. Okay, and then here we are creating a table. So here create table name. Okay, so please remember this. Don't do any mistake in the syntax here. So the syntax for creating the table is create table. A lot of students do mistake that create table name directly they give. Okay, so please avoid doing that mistake. It is create table name. Okay, so it's like we are giving instructions to the database them that create a table called, okay, student one. Okay, like that. Okay, so within the brackets here we have to also mention the attributes, whatever attributes we want to create for a particular table here. Okay, so what are those attributes here? Could be roll number. Okay, and then data type also. Data type, why we are using data type here, that is here when we give roll number here as an attribute, then it has to accept only, if we want to accept only integer values. Okay, that is for roll number. Then we have to use this data type here followed by this attributes here. And also the sizes here are specified here. And why we use primary key, if you people have already studied DBMS, in that you might have studied about constraints, various constraints, primary key constraints, not null constraints, unique key constraints, and so on. Okay, so here primary key here. So what do you mean by this primary key here? Is that it restricts the user to enter only unique values for all, for every record. Okay, so if suppose the roll number for one particular student is 111. Okay, so what if a user tries to, again, for another student tries to write the roll number as 111, then it will restrict the user to enter unique value. Okay, so for that purpose, we use primary key constraint here. Okay, because every student should have unique value, a unique roll number, that is roll number value. Okay, and then here name, another attribute varchar 50, not null. Again, we have not null constraint here. So why do we have not null constraint there? Because no student name has to be given empty there. Okay, that is in the cell in the in a table there. When you're giving the values for names, okay, maybe by mistake the user forgets to type the name. Okay, which is very important there in a particular record, in every student record there. Okay, so the not null constraint again restricts the user to enter the name compulsorily or mandatorily. Okay, so that is why we use not null constraint here. And then we have age attribute followed by the data type, and then course attribute followed by varchar data type, DOB followed by the date data type. Okay, and then once that has been done, we are saving that this query here in the one variable called $SQL. Okay, and then here we execute that SQL query in order to create a table. We execute and also we check. Okay, that is if the table has been created successfully or not. Then we print table student one created successfully, else error creating table. Okay, along with some error message there on the browser. Okay, and then close close operation or close function here we are using, so that whatever resource had been allocated, that all those resources has to be released. Okay, so once this has been done, close the PHP tag here, and then which we'll just check the output here. This is how you can execute first. Okay, so it is showing an error message here saying that label student one already exists. Okay, that is whenever you used to write SQL queries, if you all recall, maybe this had happened a lot of times for many students there, right? So, and I, if you can understand the error here, then you easily can solve this error there. So what you do is, because already I had given one table name there, okay, you just change the name as student 2. Okay, and also in the message I'll just change student 2, save it once, and then again just refresh here, and you can see the output it is showing a stable student to created successfully. So please understand, if once you have created you have written the created the table name here, right, and then again if you try to execute, then it will show this that message as the table name already exists. Okay, that I mean to say that you have already created, then this what is the use of again executing it, right? So you just, if you want to create another record, you just change the table name here and also in the message here. Okay, and then execute. Then the another table name called student2 will also be created. And to check that, you just go to localhost PHP my admin. But before you execute this, I forgot to mention, you have to make sure that the XAMPP control panel is opened, and also this Apache and MySQL are start, both of them. Okay, because here MySQL we are dealing with the database also here, so we have to start this MySQL also. Okay, and beside this we have admin. Either you can click on this, or if you can just to access the backend there, you can just type localhost slash php my admin. Okay, and then once you're done with this, you can see, so this is how the database looks like. Okay, so here you can see the databases here has been shown, all the along the data default database. Some default databases also are there. Okay, so in the program I had given test. If you click here, you can see the tables are have been created. Okay, so now what if you don't have an existing database? Okay, like previous program we have seen, we had written a script to write, sorry, to create a database there. Okay, we have written a query to create a database. There's no need of writing the program again. Then what you do is you just go to new here. You just go to new here in this PHP my admin that is in the backend. Okay, you just go to new here, and then you just give some. I'll just give some name as db log. Okay, just give some db log, and then just hit on create. So you can see here the database here db log has been created. Okay. Now if you want to again create a table here, I'll just go to the existing program there. Okay, I'll just go to the existing program here, and I'll just change the name, table name as here. Sorry, database name here as db log. Okay, and I'll save it, and also create another table here, just a fresh table name you can give here. Just give record here. Okay, record one, and I'll save it, and also the message here, record one. Okay, so once you have saved it, I'll just execute it once again. Just go to the my PHP my admin here. Okay, that is in the back end. Just refresh once, and then okay, so you can see it has been set the table record one created successfully. Okay, so I'll just check in the let's refresh once again. As you can see here, db log here, the table record one has been created. Okay, as you can see here. Okay, so this is it. This is how you can execute this program, that is PHP script, to implement a table in an existing database there. Okay, so thank you. I hope you have understood.